Knon 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people.
Business owners, tell KNON's listeners about your business. You can put your business or event on KNON. KNON currently has space available to run announcements for you. Tell KNON's listeners about your goods, services, nightclub, concert, or event. Help keep the voice of the people on the air while putting your information on the air. KNON's been named the #1 radio station in Dallas by both the Dallas Observer and D Magazine. Put your business with Dallas's #1 station. Call now for more information at 214-828-9500, extension 227, or extension 233. For more information, go to knon.org and click on the Run Spots on KNON page. It's a great way for your business to support community radio while letting more people know about you.
All right. Good morning. We'd like to say good morning to everybody. This is Church Information and Open Forum. I'm Marion, Barnett, your host. We each and every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. on Knon 89.3 FM, the voice of the people. We got a good show lined up for you today, and we'll be hearing from Miss Erica Estes in a few moments, but we first got to reflect on some things that have gone on. We had an election on this past Tuesday, and a seat that had been held by an African American has been given up to someone else. Erica Beltran defeated Andrea Hilburn. I don't know why. Sometimes my people won't go to the polls. I don't know. Money will cause you to change your vote or do. I don't understand it. We should be very up on who to vote for and who not to vote for. But we went and voted for someone that is really that's being pushed by the Tea Party and pushed by those who are for those home rule school districts, and we should know better than that. And I'm very upset over that election. I'm very upset about that particular election. Also, we got another election coming up. We have a Tea Party that's in this election and running against a people's person. And we'll talk about this Dallas School Board election coming up also. We got too much at stake, people, to stay at home, to not become aware of what's going on around you. Times are terrible now. They're trying to turn back the hands of time on the last 55 years that we have been in this struggle and the gains that we've been making since the 64 Civil Rights Bill, 65 Voting Rights Bill, with the Open Housing Act, different things like that. They're trying to turn the clocks of time back on us. And we are sitting here and allowing it. Something is desperately wrong. What is it? What is it about us? We won't even defend what we got, let alone strive to get more. What is wrong with us? Something is desperately wrong. And we got to find out. I tell you what, and also I'm saddened by the death of Maya Angelou. She was a very, very nice person to meet in person. I had the opportunity to meet and talk with her. And she was a very nice, brilliant woman. Spoke 7 different languages and could dance, a great dancer, a great singer, all of it. A very spiritual person as well as a person that was a lyrical genius. And she was one who never forgot who she really was. She had struggles in life. People out there, some of you out there talking about you just can't make it, you just can't make it. Well, she had to leave home at 17 with the baby and go and make it in this tough world. It was a whole lot tougher then than it is now for an African-American woman to make it. If she did it, so can you. You can make it. You can make it. You can make it. I don't care how many mistakes you've made in the past. I don't care what's going on in your life. I don't care if you walk the streets as a prostitute and smoking crack all day, every day. I don't care what your situation is. You can make it. You can get out of this. We are strong people. We can overcome anything. But you just must remember, you can definitely make it. I tell you what, bring me on Miss Erica Estes. All righty. Good morning, Miss Estes.
Good morning, Reverend Barnett. How are you this morning?
I'm fine. You doing all right?
I'm good. I'm sad with you about that defeat of my good friend, Joyce Foreman, who fights a good fight.
No, Joyce didn't lose. No.
She defeated.
No, she didn't lose. Joyce, the election is not coming up till the 21st.
Oh, I'm upset.
The same powers that defeated Andrea Hilburn is running against Joyce. But Joyce has a good name ID and strong. But we have to go to the polls to elect the right people.
Yeah.
We have got to get out, and I just don't know what it takes to inspire us to fight for ourselves. Not only ourselves, but our children, grandchildren, everything. It's hard to figure out.
I'm trying to figure it out, too. I've been subbing in Lancaster School District all summer, all year, and I don't know what it will take for us to make a powerful movement to get to the polls. I do not know.
Well, I've been upset with the Lancaster Independent School District ever since they got rid of a good principal who was demanding excellence from his children, demanding that they study and read during the summer and holidays and different things, and they did not like him. Now,
wow.
A man demanding excellence and you don't like him? Come on now, come on. And I mean, these are grown folk.
And that's one thing I teach my kids. I said, when we on free time, when you finish your work, pick up a book and read. Go by Walmart. Go by Barnes and Noble. Pick up one of those $4.99 books. Those $2.99 books.
Yeah, but our kids are too busy now with those whatever those machines are. I don't know when my kids were, they were Nintendo back. That's probably antique now. When my children were kids, but whatever, they still got, it's the same thing. Those machines, they are playing that mess all day long and on their cell phone all day long. Nothing that's really going to enhance the bulk of our children.
Enhance their knowledge, especially reading and math is essential.
That's right, and everything is essential. History is essential. That you know from whence you come and where you're going.
If you come from, you will know where you're going.
That's right. Everything they can possibly learn, you try to learn it. You try to learn everything and dialogue with anyone you talk to, and maybe y'all can come together on something you can agree on. You never will know what will happen after that. So
and I'm still learning. Reverend Barnett,
we all
still
are.
Learning.
We all are. We all do. All righty. What's on your mind this morning?
I have two things. I'm going to go quick for you this morning. Just like we don't get out and vote, you probably are not aware that you have money if you want to purchase a home in Dallas, Texas, or in Dallas County. You may not even know because you lack of knowledge. So let me give you a little knowledge. You have to get out and vote. Let me say that first. Second, I want to say, if you are trying to buy a home, and your income, you are middle class or lower, higher, it doesn't matter. There is money out there for you. I'm going to give you my phone number. We have down payment assistance, closing cost assistance, money $8,500 to go toward your purchase, $7,500. But I have 4 programs. Lack of knowledge, I'm giving you the knowledge today. My telephone number is 678 561-3635. 678-561-3635. I'm having a seminar coming up, but you have to RSVP. If you do the work to get your credit right, you will be able to purchase a home and use this free money that is available to you and your family to live the way you wish or would like to live. Okay,
Erica, let me ask you, what's credit, excuse me, what credit score do they have to say qualify for?
They're looking for 620. And the good thing about working with me is that we help you. We don't charge you for that credit restoration, credit repair. We help you get to that 620 credit score. If you do the work, we walk with you. We don't say go do this. We don't say this is 700 and we'll help you get this off your credit. No, we walk you through ABC. This is what you need to do to get to this.
Okay. Now, also, what are some of the things that bring your credit score down? Because most of the people that I talk to have problem with that score. Now, what is it? Late payments?
Late payments, repossessions, mostly late payments, letting credit cards go and not paying the debt. Mm-hmm. And if you have child support, if you have the student loans, they will work with you on those student loans. So you really need to be in touch with them to get them deferred. You can let them know if you're not working. You can start now by letting them take out what you can afford, because if they start garnishing your wages, they're going to take what they want to take.
Mm-hmm. So now, you mentioned child support. How would child support block someone from, if they're paying their child support on time?
If they're paying, they're okay. If they're not paying, it's going to come on there as negative. Okay.
So child support comes on your credit reference, right?
Yes, child support. If you have taxes you owe with the IRS, or once again, student loans, repossessions on cars. But mostly just pay the little bills you have on time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, now, they can call you and you say you're having a seminar. Probably, what month will this seminar be? Coming in so people can prepare.
June the 7th. June the 7th, the weekend coming up. But you call me now and we'll start getting you processed. And if you come and you're willing to do the work, you will get a house. So the American dream is still alive, and it's still alive. Mm-hmm. You do the work and we'll get you the house. And there is free money available for you.
Is there a certain price limit on a house that y'all will go with? How does that work?
So one of the programs is $152,000. One of them doesn't have a limit, so it just depends on which program they fit. Mm-hmm. And we won't know that until we pull their credit and check how many is in their family and what their income is.
Okay. Do you have any single household heads that get home through your program?
Oh yes, mm-hmm. Yes. First time home buyers, single. Yes, you can get a home. This is the time to get your home in Dallas, Texas, or Dallas County. If you're single and you want to get a home, this is the time.
What about...
Or even with a family.
Yeah, that's what I was just asking. What about it? Oh, say it's a family with 5, 6, 7 children or like that. Does that hurt your qualifications?
No. Long as you're working, no, it does not.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't hurt you as long as you're working. How long do one have to be on a job before the credit bureau?
2 years.
At least 2
years, Reverend Barnett.
At least 2 years. Yes. They've been employed 2 years. They can qualify for this program.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
And you will have to attend a home buyers seminar clinic, and they are either in the evening time or on a Saturday. And all they do is they're just going to prepare you and teach you how to keep the home, manage the home, finances, budgeting. So it's something that you need.
All right, this sounds good, because I know there are a lot of single parents out there that would love to have a playground, a backyard, or whatever for their children to play in, and they're having to live in these apartments and everything, and nothing wrong with that. But they just don't seem to have the place to play and the children to run and have themselves a good time. And
right,
you say
like
single, and you're saying single people can qualify for this particular program, and y'all will help them, correct?
Yes, we will.
All right. That's what I want to know, because your number is 678 561-3635. They can call that number, and you will let them know about the seminar coming up on June 7th?
Yes.
All right. Okay. That's what we want to know. And we'll be pushing this throughout the program, because I would love to see a lot of my listeners, those who can and who desire to have a home of their own, stop paying for somebody else's place of dwelling and paying for that. You can pay rent for the next 40 years. It still won't be yours. So I want to see them have something of their own. So you call her at 678-561-3635. That's Miss Erica Estes. Call her and tell her who you are, and she'll help you. She'll help you get into a home. All right.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Erica. All
Okay,
right.
thank you, and you have a blessed day, Reverend Barnett.
All right. You do the same. All right. I tell you, when I come back, 972-647-1893 will be the number to call and talk to me. 972-647-1893. We're up against a short break, and we'll be right back. All right. You can call me at 972-647-1893, 972-647-1893. And then what's going on with the veteran hospitals? Look, people, don't go for the okie doke. It is the United States Congress problem. The Congress failed to give funds to these hospitals like they should have. We in the last 15 years, we're coming out of 3 different wars. We had Vietnam soldiers are getting old. World War II soldiers are dying daily. Sickness because of age. And so you have a burden that's placed on the hospital system here in America, our veterans hospitals, even really around the world, that's like you've never had before. Who would believe some 14 years ago when we went into Afghanistan, we'd be there here in 2014, and all of these people come home. These people come home with shot up, banged up, missing limbs, mental problems. All of these people are flooding into the hospital system. But the Congress don't want to do anything to make this president look good. They won't fund it. So somebody needs to just go on and tell the truth. They won't fund it. The man that was over our VA system, he resigned. I hate to see him resign because he was a good man in the VA. Some of you veterans out there, y'all are listening. Some of you veterans are listening. And y'all call in and tell what your experience is. It might not have been good, but you have to understand, the president don't fund anything. It's done by the United States Congress. That's the Constitution. That's the Constitution. And if they put more money and quit being so stiff-necked and racist behind its African-American president and put money into the funds. Remember, all these wars and everything started under a Republican administration. But they're trying their best to make sure that this president get the blame for something that was started. These wars were started, and this Congress failed to fund these hospitals as they should. Can you imagine the VA in Dallas? That VA hospital is small for an area as large as North Texas. It's small. We have a lot of veterans here in the North Texas area that need that assistance. Yes, they have to be put on hold because they don't pay doctors as much as normally the other hospitals, private hospitals. They don't pay them as much, so a lot of doctors don't want to really go into the VA. There are a lot of problems that our government needs to solve about our hospital system, our veterans hospital system. 972-647-1893. Who was that on line one? Brian on 3. All righty. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing this morning?
Fine. How are you doing?
Wonderful. Praise God. You have a blessed day, too. And thank you for your program. And I agree 100% with what you're saying this morning. I think that one thing that I see about the people that reach the age between 40 and up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is, and even some of them are Christians, and I'm sorry to say that, but we have become desensitized, we have become compromised about everything that is happening, and it's like, well, we don't care, and I'm just going to say something. I see signs and wonder. When people say, what signs and wonder? Well, we talk about the earthquake, the hurricane, the flooding, the moon turning red, whatever you want to call it. When you go to the Bible, that to me is saying prophecy for us to get ready. And if we ain't going to get ready about everything that we need to do to get things right, we're never going to get right. And when the Lord comes, we didn't do our part to make things right. So we're going to judge about things that we did when we were supposed to do things so we can have things that's supposed to be the way it's supposed to be, the way that, the things that, that were supposed to be when the United States became the United States, all these, everything that they're trying to change about, not having Bibles in school, Bible stuff in the building, whatever we want to do. But anyhow, and I agree with you. And also, I'm a veteran, and I am surprised. Oh, well, I'm not even surprised because I've gone to the VA in Dallas, and I've been going to the VA in Fort Worth, and most of them, they're small. Most of the time, there's not enough doctors to take care of the patient. There's always a waiting time, the hours before you get to see him, and then most of the doctors, I agree, they don't want to just lack of doctors because doctors they want to deal with the lack of back support for the people that don't support to make sure that the VA is running right. I was surprised that finally somebody decided, said, listen, this is not good. This is what's happening. And now that,
but what they're trying to do is turn this into a political thing. Sure, it really is political, but they're not turning it on where it should be, on the Congress for not funding these hospitals and not funding the pay for doctors. They are paid a lot less, those who work in the VA system. So there are a lot of problems, and that funding does not come from the president. It comes from Congress.
Exactly. Okay, actually, the last time that there were the money was stopped for a while, I will tell you how many of those doctors quit the VA because they were not getting paid, and some of them they will get paid. Hopefully, that they will get paid when everything they will get back to them to get paid. So some of them they will wake up for free, But I agree with you. It's the Congress, and some people don't realize it's the Congress. People think it's the president, and they're trying to blame the president. And I'm so sick and tired when people blame the president and don't have an idea that it's not the president, it's the Congress is trying to get rid of our president, And I'm proud, and I'm a Hispanic Caucasian person. I'm half Caucasian, half Hispanic, and I'm going to say right now, I'm sick and tired, but I am so proud that we have the president that we have right now, and I hope he stays how long he needs to stay because I trust him because he's a good president. That's what I have to say about that.
All righty, thank you. All right, and that clears the line 972-647-1893. Who's on line 4? All right, Tony. All righty. Good morning, Tony.
How you doing, Reverend Barnett?
Fine. How are you this morning?
Doing all right.
Great.
Well, what I want to talk about today is, summer, time for kids. I have a 7-year-old son, and this is what I have planned for him so far. Out on UTA has a planetarium. He's going there. I'm going to the George Bush Library. And it's amazing to me that black people don't understand that it's not about George Bush politics. It's about having the assets and having a replica of the White House in your city. You take that and you use that to your advantage. You don't take the political part of his party and you use that. And he's going to go to the Peru Museum. And go to the African American Museum, the Cultural Center. These are things I have for him planned in this city. And I think sometimes we don't take advantage of the assets. When people from Highland Park They go to these things.
And they make sure their children are exposed to certain things in life at a young age, because what you're exposed to at a young age, that will stick with you longer than a whole lot of other things that come your way. So good exposure at a young age, yeah.
And I'm prove your point. I have a friend that I went to school with. We both went to Kimball High School.
Mm-hmm.
His son is going to St. Mark's.
Okay.
They going to China. I think he just graduated 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
They going to China for 3 weeks.
All right.
I mean, you know, and to go to China outside of the country for 3 weeks at 8th grade. I'm talking about, because when we get to exposed stuff, it's in the high school.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what I mean, the point of what you're saying. At a young age, when you get that exposure, then your mind broadens, you know. And I just want to give you that information, you know, just in case people didn't have something. And most of this stuff costs money, but it's not that much money considering.
Well, sometimes you have to delay gratification in order to get what you need to make sure your children get a well-rounded education. And
yes,
see, a lot of times, if you delay getting certain things, well, you can maybe drive somewhere, and can't anything beat driving places. Drive them to Alabama, or to Birmingham, to Atlanta. Drive them to Washington, D.C. Drive them to New York, other places. Let them see historic sites and let them see their culture. Drive them down to the farmer plantations in Louisiana. That shouldn't cost a whole lot of money. And this is how you build the children's mind and have something else on their mind rather than a bunch of mess. They can go all in little nasty rap songs and do everything else. Well, what do you expect? This is all they're exposed to. But if you expose them to better things in life, it will cause them to be a much better person. And expose them to their history, their legacy. Read to them. There are so many things we can do that doesn't really cost any money. You can go to the library and get some books and take them to the library and sit down and just read to them and let them learn like that. But we got too many that all they're doing is listening to these nasty rap stations and all these other CDs or whatever they're doing, and playing on their telephones and everything, and then, but we expect to have a better product. Well, the product that we're getting is the product that we're raising, and it's our fault. It's our fault. Now, parents can't do it. Grandparents, you can do it. You can do it. If you're retired, take your grandkids somewhere. Show them things. Take them to the library. Take them, take them out of town. Show them things. Yeah.
All right,
okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, take Liz line, 972-647-1893. That is something. Exposure. Exposure to our children. What they exposed to is what they're going to emulate. If they emulate it to everything negative, that's what it's going to be. Or do you feel like you can't do it because you were not exposed? Many people, all people live only as well as they know how. And if you would just open your mind, if you say you don't have the money, well, you get everything else you want. I see people with these nails on, these here hair, and all these other accessories and everything, and they trying to dress up like queens and everything, but they complain they can't do much for their children. You can delay some things. Get you and your child, if you don't have an automobile, get you a bus ticket. Go somewhere. Let them see things. Show them there's a great world out there. And it doesn't take a whole lot of money. It doesn't take a whole lot of money to have a good time, to show people that the world that you are moving forward and advancing and want to advance your children. You don't have to be rich to raise successful children. You don't have to be rich. You can do it to expose them. The public libraries are there. Expose them to different things. Certainly, they get exposure and a lot of cultural things, even around the church. Expose them to giving back to society. Teach them when they grow up, not just to try to get everything for themselves, but teach them how to share with others. Exposure. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. That is the number to call. Reflecting on the life and legacy of Maya Angelou. A wonderful person who never forgot who she is or who she was. She never forgot. She always lifted up her culture. She always spoke out against injustices. And it's so sad that people can come from hard backgrounds and they give up in life even before they live out their teenage years. And now they get to a certain age, they just have given up on life. If you got blood running warm in your veins, you should not give up on life. You should strive to be everything God has created you to be. And why? Why is so many people giving up? Why so many people don't seem to grasp the legacy of someone like God that would give us so much to grasp and give us so talented. We are such African American people. We're so talented. We're so gifted. Other ethnic groups wish they had the talent, the exposure of to certain things that's good, but we have such a creative mind. We have such a creative mind that we can do most anything. We're creative. I see the people that are part of dealing drugs. These fellas, believe it or not, are entrepreneurs, but they do not have seemingly the wherewithal in order to get something that's not against the law. So they end up in prison. They end up in prison. They end up in prison. They end up dead. They end up dead. Things like that. But use these great gifts, the great minds, to do some great things. Do this. Use your great mind to do certain things. All right, give us a call, 972-647-1893. We're up against a short break, and we'll be back and take your calls. 972-647-1893. All right, we're back on Church Information and Open Forum. I'm Marion, Barnett, your host. 972-647-1893 is the number to reach us. And when we have a lot of things going on, we want you to bring up some topics this morning. You have an open line. You bring it up. Whatever you'd like to talk about also. 972-647-1893. Let's go to line 3 and say good morning to Doc. All righty?
Good morning, Barnett.
Good morning, Doc. How are you?
I'm just fine.
Good.
I was listening at you talking about the veterans.
Yeah.
Yes. I like to say that I'm just as patriotic as the next man, but even I think about back to when they had the Vietnam War. Mm-hmm. A lot of those guys came back and they couldn't even get a job.
Well, you know how that goes. I had cousins and uncles to fight in World War II and Korea. Lost my oldest brother in Korea, and they were MPs, and they would take the German soldiers and capture them and keep them. But when they got to the United States, they had to turn them over to white soldiers, and white soldiers and the Germans could go into the restaurants and sit down and eat. They had to go sit back in the alley somewhere. They were not even allowed to go into the restaurants where they had fought for the country they fought to protect. So,
right.
And they had to think about this. Wait a minute. We fought for America, but we're treated less than the so-called American enemy.
Right.
So,
I heard the Attorney General said that a bunch of guys up there in Congress say they're cowards.
Well, yeah.
They're cowards because they fight this president. They treat him worse than any other president been in office.
No, it's never been, no president has ever been treated like this. You see, anytime you catch something like this bigotry and hatred that they show for this particular president, there's always fear that motivates it.
Right.
They got fear. It's a fear. Yes, they're cowardice. The fear of the unknown, the fear of saying that what we've been taught and what we're teaching down through the years is wrong, and what saying that the black man is inferior, and for this man to rise to the highest office we have in this land and would do a good job would just make us look bad, and it's so vehemently racist. It's unreal. And we could have this country well down the road right now. The economy would be great. Everything would be going, most things would be going fine. But because this racist Congress would not work with this president, this is why we're in the position we're in.
A few days ago that he had used his executive privilege. Mm-hmm. And he used it about 20-some times. Mm-hmm. Some things that need to be passed, that he could do it with his pen. Mm-hmm. He said he's going to use his telephone and his pen. Right. To get a lot of these things through.
Right. Well,
I've never seen it. They won't go with him on anything. Everything that he tried to get passed, they fight him on it. I've never seen anything like this.
You see, the infrastructure in this country is so bad that we need to build new infrastructure in this country. That will provide a whole millions of jobs and different things. Other businesses would open and develop around it, but they won't even pass that bill.
That's right.
To rebuild our bridges and our highways and different infrastructure in cities, pipes and sewage lines, all of this. They're fighting and holding this up.
They're coming out of the closet now.
It's time to call it like it is. It's just what it is. Mm-hmm.
A lot of these bigots and racists, they're coming out of the closet now. I mean, they're just, they saying things racist and doing things racist that they know that they've been taught long time ago when the kids were little. Mm-hmm. And the white man would tell his son, white boy, don't play with those kids over there, those black kids.
Yeah.
And kids don't understand that, why they can't play with the other kid just because he's black.
Yeah. But that's America for you. Thank you for your call.
Thank you.
972-647-1893. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. Let's go to line 4. All righty. All right, Mr. Johnson. Ready? Mr. Johnson, are you there? I guess Mr. Johnson, I guess he hung up. You can call us at 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. Why is it have we lost? What is it have we lost that we can allow others to buy our vote that we know that's going to work against us? How can we do it? How can we do it? How are we going to do it? We got our school system. Others who do not have your best interests at heart. And you know it. We got most of our politicians are going along with this mess. You ask them, they say, oh, well, I made my mind. Oh, yeah, you have. You're going along with this mess. You're going along with something that will negate the little power that we do have. You want to negate that because somebody else is promising you something or giving you something that you think you're going to have. You think you're going to make something off of it. Maybe some of you have received some money off it. Something is wrong. Something's wrong. 972-647-1893. Something is vehemently wrong. Very, very, very wrong. And what about the airport? Out there at Southwest Center Airport, or Old Redbird Airport, they are having an expansion of the runways. What about that? What about that expansion of the runway? Do you want that? Do you want that in your community? There you have a Dallas City Councilman and the mayor met with people the other night, and they are asking They want to push this expansion of Redbird Airport, and I guess they want to have larger planes landing out there. It's a sad situation when they know that's a dangerous situation. It ends right off of 67, the South Runway, and they want to go all the way back, I think, to Boulder, back off in there and expand the runway. Would you like to see old Redbird Airport runways expanded and get larger planes on it? Would you like to see it? 972-647-1893, 972-647-1893. All righty. All right. Okay. You say Billy? All right. All right. Good morning, Billy.
How you doing, sir?
Fine. How are you?
Hi. I'm good. I was listening at your show, and I thought that you said that there was another concern. You thought you could call in, and my concern is I want to know what direction the family could go when one of their relatives has been locked up almost 14 years. Yet the people the prosecutors who locked him up had evidence that they didn't share with his attorney that would have acquitted him.
Okay. Have you talked to a lawyer about this?
Well, yeah. Well,
what did the lawyer say?
Well, he's working on it now, but Wednesday last week, they told him he was going to be released, and then they turn around and say now his release date is 2020. But yet they had information that that if he would have got it, his attorney would have got it, he never would have went to jail because they knew that witnesses wasn't credible.
Okay, have you tried, what county is this in?
It was in Collin County, but it's Denton County involved in it also.
It's Collin and Denton County? Okay, where was he tried?
In Collin County.
In Collin County. Have you talked to the Collin County DA?
The U.S. Assistant U.S. Attorney General was the one prosecuting.
Oh, this was a federal case.
Mm-hmm.
And the feds withheld vital information?
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, you need to contact the Justice Department. Eric Holder is over it, and that was a different Justice Department then than you have now. Have you tried to contact Eric Holder's office?
Well, I faxed a transcript maybe about a year ago to him and also to the White House, but nothing. I never heard anything from it.
You've got nothing. Okay, have you talked to your congresswoman?
They won't do nothing.
Wait a minute, who's your congressperson?
Burgess is one of them.
Where do you live?
Denton.
All right. I tell you what, you don't live in her district, or you don't live in Mark Vesey's district. But I really believe Eddie Breeze Johnson or Mark Vesey, if you get in contact with their offices, I think they would help you in a situation like this. See, this is a federal case. You need your Congress people working for you.
Okay.
Okay.
And I also agree with you about the president. There's nothing that he's going to ever be able to do, and that's going to be right in front of that Congress up there.
Well, the night of the inauguration, they all got together and in lockstep said they will march and will stay there as long as they felt like they could get him out in 4 years, but it didn't work. So they're gonna march in lockstep against him for 8 years. It's just that bad, but we could break the monotony if we go to the polls in November.
That's right.
And get those.
Let me ask you a question. Can you ask John McCain a question? Could somebody get him on public TV and ask him a question about how do we feel about black people? Because that guy in Arizona out there was locked up for 41 years, and the only way he could get out, he had to plead no contest. And they had evidence that he was innocent. So I wish
41 years.
John McCain up on TV, get him up on TV and ask him why didn't he up that.
Well, a person, something like that, you need to talk to the governor on that. Now, John McCain could give his opinion on it. But
I hear him always bashing the president. That's why I want somebody to get him up on TV and ask him that question.
Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know. I'm not familiar with the case where someone was locked up 41 years and for something they didn't do. But anyway,
he went to jail 15 years old, and when he got out, he was 57.
Wow.
They had on news a little bit, but it wasn't much. And then the only way he could get out was he had to plead no contest.
Wow. That was in Arizona. But you got a lot of that all over the United States of America. You have a whole lot of that all over this country. All right. Thank you for your call.
But let me ask you a question. If a journalist want to talk to him, he's in Seagoville prison, like that disorder.
In Seagoville prison? Oh, well, you don't got it, man. 972-647-1893. Who do we have? Al, okay. All right, good morning, Al.
Good morning, preacher. How you doing?
Fine, how are you?
Oh, I'm blessed. I'm still on this side of the dirt.
All right.
My issue is with this Donald Sterling, how everybody jumped on him when he got his little stuff all out in the public.
Mm-hmm.
In his defense, I don't agree nothing that he did, but with that same energy that they went after Donald Sterling, I like to see us go after that Tea Party.
Well, if we go to the we can fight the Tea Party if we go to the polls, but we don't do that in mass numbers.
I go, preacher, but with this, it's that Tea Party. That is one of the most dangerous, racist, bigoted organizations that have come up because of this little black man that's up in the White House now.
Well, that's nothing but an extension of the moral majority. Then, before then, you had the Dixiecrats. Are you always going to come up with these far right-wing organizations that try to turn back the hands of time on our people? But we don't remain vigilant. They do. That's the difference. If we remain vigilant, had we gone to the polls back in 2010, we would not. This would not have happened. This would not have happened. But we got a black president, so we don't even have to go back to the polls. But we don't remain vigilant. That's one of our biggest problems. But let me ask you something. Why would you want to hold up for Donald Sterling?
Well, because he just got caught, preacher. That's all. He just got caught.
Okay. Now, what do you think about the Dallas Mark Cuban holding up for him? What do you think about that?
Cuban?
Yeah.
He's GOP like all the other owners.
No, but now let me ask you something. If these had Donald Sterling said the same thing about gays and Jews, you think Mark Cuban would have come out and said anything?
No.
Well, that's I go back to what I keep saying. We're so weak. We allow people to trample upon us, and in fact, we will hold up. We've been so conditioned here in America. We'll hold up against for somebody that speak out against us. We'll hold up for them. We'll find a way to justify what they're saying. Why are we like that? Why? Why do we act like that? I guess it's just our conditioning that we have been ill-conditioned in America and taught so wrong, grossly miseducated, that people would say things against us and about us, and we'll try to justify what they're saying. Come on, people. We got to get out of that. We got to get out of that.
You're so right, preacher. I agree 150% with you.
All righty. Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for your call. There goes the line, 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. We got this Veterans Administration hospital situation that's plaguing us. We have this home rule system. Now, whether you know it or not, this is going to be a national story. It already is, but now I'm talking about a big national story. People are going to watch how you react in Dallas to a hostile takeover. They're going to ask, they're going to see, what will Dallas do? Here's one of the largest school systems in the United States. Will we allow ourselves to be bent over and beaten down by wealth? Or will we stand for what's right? Are we going to stand for what's right? Or are we going to stand for what's going on? 972-647-1893. Who have on line 3? Mr. Johnson. I hope he stays on this time. All righty, Mr. Johnson?
Yes, how you doing this morning?
Fine, how are you?
Well, I look at the fact of the veteran hospital issue. I'm a veteran, and I was violated of due process of the law and equal protection of the law. Service connection disability, benefits violated of. And they what they did, they had filed for fraudulent. They filed it fraudulent and put me out the hospital when I was in the hospital, and I had made me go file for the Social Security.
What years was this when this a fraudulent filing?
It was in 1991 of January the 8th.
1991, January the 8th.
Yes, and I was, at the time I was violated, for the lack of not knowing and understanding of, of benefits, and I'm still, there's a lifetime, benefit, from the military, when I went to the military, it was in 1980. I went to the military in 1979, and from 79 to 1980, where they filed, and they put me out the military, they put me out the veteran hospital. They went file for the benefits. And
what year did you first go into the veterans hospital?
It was I was seeking the treatment for the drug and alcohol condition, with the military,
you were addicted. You were seeking an addiction problem with the VA, correct?
Yes, sir.
And what year was this?
In 88.
That was in 88.
Yeah.
Were you still in the military?
Yeah, well, actually, I was not still in the military. I was discharged from the military with a medical disability discharge for that condition, and that to receive payment.
Was that an honorable discharge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you received an honorable discharge, and they failed to give you treatment.
They failed to give me my proper status. My proper status was a mental health disorder. At the time, mental health disorder, and they filed for it, but they didn't give me the benefits, for the condition that I was due from the military.
I tell you what, I'm up against a short break. Hold him online. We'll come back. I want to hear the entire matter on this. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. All right, we're back for hour number 2 of Church Information and Open Forum. I'm Marion, Barnett, your host. I tell you what, also, many of you have relatives, loved ones that are graduating from high school, college, or whatever. If you want to call in and mention them and congratulate them, feel free to call us at 972-647-1893. I know this is a wonderful milestone in their lives, and you feel great about it. And if you want to acknowledge your loved ones graduating, you can call us at 972-647-1893. Let's go back to Mr. Johnson on line 4 already. Good morning, Mr. Johnson. You still there?
Yes, sir.
All righty.
Well, the problem of it is what I wanted to speak to you about. The benefits, what I'm saying, they it's in process, but what went down, the scenario that went down, it was fraud, injury, and death in the whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
And fraud, injury, and death.
Okay, now what was the fraud?
The fraud was when they filed. We went back from 79 when I went into the military, and from 79 to 1980 when I was let out under the condition of the mental health disorder and the drug alcohol condition.
You said that was dishonorable or honorable?
It was an honorable discharge.
Okay, all right, go right ahead.
The military, they in that condition you receive benefits, and in that condition I was 100%. I have all my evidence. I gave it to.
You were disabled.
Yes, I gave it to the VA. They found out, and everything that I had all the evidence. They sent me the evidence and everything, for my service connection disability. They filed, but I didn't get the chance to reap the benefits. And at the same time, it was for 100%, which I should have been receiving like $2,800 a month. And by me being in the hospital at that time, they kicked me out of the hospital, you know what I'm saying? Because
Why did they kick you out?
They put me at the hospital, and they had me on medication.
Okay, now, what reason they give you to put you out the hospital?
They put me out the hospital because, they was gonna, I don't know, they just didn't want me to have the benefit money for the cervical mix. One thing.
So they put you out. They stopped your treatment.
They gave me medication when they did put me out, but they had had made me go to receive Social Security, which they didn't want to give me my benefits from the military, which was 100% of disability, which paid $2,800 a month. It was the money plus, you know what I'm saying. And what I really want to get down to, and I found out, because at the time I was taken advantage of because I didn't know, I was up on a bad condition, being under drugs and alcohol. But when I found out, about this RFID chip that they place in our people, that's a sad. I got all evidence on this. And I even have friend ladies and everything. They have this situation going on with our black people, too. We need to step up. I went to the congressman's office. I gave them all this evidence at Eddie Bernice Johnson's office. And no concern. I mean, and it's federal. You know what I'm saying? Constitutional right being violated. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling them this. They're telling me, you know what I'm saying, that they were going to do something, and at the same time, nothing had been done. You was exactly right. The congressman office from all the way up, you know what I'm saying, to the places of government, you know what I'm saying, they're not concerned about our people when we totally being violated. You know what I'm saying? Clear evidence I gave them, you know what I'm saying, for as service connected.
And are you disabled now?
Yes, sir. I'm still receiving the benefit for Social Security, but I went to the federal hospital trying to get them to give me my money for the mental health disorder and a drug, condition and a service connection, but which I didn't receive. I didn't get a chance to reap it, but they filed for it. I got all the evidence that I'm service connection, and they filed for it, but they didn't give me, the benefits that I was supposed to receive for 100%. I'm not even service connected at all. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Where do you live? What city you live in?
I'm in Dallas.
Okay. And okay. You're in Eddie Bernice's congressional district. When the last time you talked to them?
I talked to them like maybe a week ago, and I'm still.
What are they saying?
They're not doing anything. What
did they tell you a week ago?
They told me a week ago that that it was really, you know what I'm saying, there's nothing they could do, you know what I'm saying, as far as doing anything. I mean, because I've been trying to get up there, and it's been months that I've been, trying to get them to do something.
Well, we're going to
tell me something.
I tell you what, I'm going to ask to produce, put you on hold, and we get your name. We'll see if there's anything can be done, will be done with this. All right, 972-647-1893 is the number to call. Call me, 972-647-1893. All righty, who is that? All right, Dr. Edwards on line one. Good. I was thinking he was on my mind. Maybe he can give us some enlightenment on this particular situation. Good morning, Doc.
Hey, Reverend Barnett, how you doing?
Fine. Were you listening to the prior call?
Sir, okay, what's your name? Hold on just a minute. I wanted to cut the radio down.
Yeah.
So, Reverend, how you doing today?
I'm fine. You doing all right?
I'm doing good. I can. The gentleman that just got off the phone, I'm not sure that that's true about Congresswoman Johnson, because we've been working on this about 18 months. And the VA would not even respond to her until about 4 months ago.
Okay.
As a congressman, you can put it out there and they don't necessarily have to respond. But she had been working on issues that had been, a number of people had come to her, and she was trying to get information from them, how the process worked and so forth. And they wouldn't give it to her. I mean, it broke nationally. But she had been working on a number of other veterans, the mistreatment they were getting out there, and
right.
Like I said, they would not give her the record things that she would need and kind of the data that she was going to need to see if she could go in and help. But I would have to disagree with the guy that she had actually been working on this about 18 months. And when it broke nationally last week, I was sad, but I was glad that actually now it's starting to get some press and some things are going to be done about it. But the VA is a portion or a part of the healthcare system that is broken. I mean, it's broken all the way from hospital administrators to down to the patient. But
they are directly funded by the U.S. Congress.
That's correct.
And the Congress has not done what they could have done to bring more funding into the Veterans Administration, into that hospital system. So what they really want to do is just blame the president, because they know people think the president funds things and runs everything. But these people are doing this on purpose. They're making a political football out of this thing. And when they really, if anybody needs to be kicked like a football, it's Congress. They need to get on it. They need to get on it.
Yeah, that's right. Well, President Obama, since he's been in, he's increased that budget to the VA by 38%, which they won't really tell you.
Yeah.
Since he's been in, he has actually increased the funding for those post-traumatic stress syndromes. There's a lot of, I think 5 or 6 guys a day commit suicide from the trauma that they get in those wars.
Right.
So I think President Obama is he has to have help, but this is just tip of the iceberg. What you're seeing in the VA hospital, they don't pay those guys that well. They
don't pay you doctors as well in VA as they pay, say, in the outside, right?
Oh no, and those a lot of those people, if you work the emergency room, a lot of those people are so sick when they come in with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease along with congestive. I mean, they be sick, and so I had looked at it one time, and I think they pay like $125 an hour. I mean, you gotta do better. So they don't get the quality of doctors, and they're understaffed. So there's just a whole litany of things, but it's just a tip of the iceberg. What you're seeing at the VA and people were having to wait and that kind of thing. It's a systemic problem, and it just happened to get the national press, but Congresswoman Johnson has really been working on this diligently. I know the last 18 months.
Good. I'm glad somebody that's on the inside knows something about this, giving a call, because it's hard for me to address this thing if the information you're giving me is vague. Hard for me to understand what you're really saying. When did it happen? Give me the time and everything. And I can talk with her office about it, but I can't go in there with vague information. I got to have something concrete, say A, B, C, D is happening and has happened to this gentleman, and this is wrong. It should not be. But at the same time, we realize that we do have veterans, men who paid a great price to go and defend this country, that has not been given the type of medical attention they should be given. And as you always say, one of the most racist things there are in our country is medical care. A lot of people don't believe that, but it's true. It's medical care. And many of those veterans that I've been observing, many of those veterans look like us. Now, there are a lot of whites and Hispanic men in there too, and women, but many of them look like us. They're saying they're not receiving care. So we have to watch this closely.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I'll stay abreast of it, and anything I can help you with this gentleman, but he's got to give us time, dates, and really what happened.
Yeah, information is vague. That's why I got his number, and they're going to call him. Give me something concrete, because I can't jump from 79 to 91 into 81 or whatever, let me know what's going on. He was candid about he had a drug addiction and alcohol.
Right.
Okay, but the benefits should cover that if he gained that in the military, correct?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, if as long as he was discharged honorably.
Yeah. He said he was.
If he got an issue, they have to address that. That shouldn't interfere with his benefits at all. And a lot of times, I remember in my last statement, congressmen, Congress people, men and women, a lot of times the issues that the citizens have are legal issues, and they have to be very careful not to cross over from what their congressional duties are to trying to represent somebody as a legal. And so Congresswoman Johnson is really cautious of not trying to be an attorney for somebody when really a lot of times they may need some benefits, but it may be need a legal aspect.
So in other words, he might need a lawyer.
He may need something like that, and so Congresswoman will not get involved if it crosses over like that. She will not, because she's not an attorney, and she has to be very careful about crossing over. And it's a thin line sometimes on what happens. So he may need an attorney, or he may need legal, advice on how he can best, get his benefits. So, so thank you for taking my call.
All righty. Thank you, Dr. Edwards. All righty. Thank you. That clears the line, 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. I know there are a lot of veterans listening that y'all have some expertise on this. You're the ones that have gone out to the VA and maybe if you were taken care of, hey, let us know if they took care of you. Or if the care was not as swift as it should have been, if you had to wait. I really don't care for this type of practices, because you've gone and served this country. You put your life on the line. You put everything on the line for this country, and you can't receive the benefits that was promised to you when you signed on that dotted line that you would go and put your life on the line for America. America should do its job of taking care of those who are part of a system that has a lot of money. U.S. government. Sure, it doesn't have money to waste, but at the same time, if you have benefits that should be given to you, you should get those benefits. You can call me anything you like to talk about. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. And what about there are so many other things that are going on in our society. Our children being kidnapped and all these type of things. What's happening in our world today? What's happening in our world today? What's happening? 972-647-1893 is that number to call. I know it's a weekend. Everybody tired and sleepy. Summer. This is almost our first summer weekend, and we're going to have to really bear down, because we got to keep things on your mind. We cannot let you forget about that home rule. We can't let you forget about it. We can't allow you to go and not remind you that we need everybody we can in on this, everybody who will stand up, everybody who will go to the polls. This November election is going to be a great opportunity for us to stand up. Also, you have an election coming June 21st for school board. Very, very important that we have people down there that will represent us, represent our community. That's very important. It's very important for you to vote the correct way. But it's first of all to get you to vote. We did not vote well during this State Board of Education election. That was election day. There were other races out there. You didn't. And some of you obviously went for the okie-doke, went for the people that were really sending poison to your door in forms of those flyers that were coming in and those brochures that came in asking you to vote for certain people. People, wake up. They feel like they can buy this whole thing. They feel like they can buy this home rule district. They feel like they can buy it. They feel like if they keep impressing upon you, quite naturally they have the media on their side, keep impressing upon you, you will change your mind. I say no. Don't change your mind. Stand up for what's right. You are an American citizen. We have had people to go and fight and die for this country, and then they're going to take away your clout to elect a school board, the members, single member districts that you have right now, that you will have the opportunity to elect people to represent you, and you're going to allow that to be given away? Come on now. There are many great things that have happened in the Dallas public schools. Many great things going on. But for the last few years, they made sure they demonized it. They made sure that you did not have a good opinion of the Dallas public schools, and so they could bring this about. So 972-647-1893, 972-647-1893. We are veterans. Come on. What's going on with the system? We know what's going on. We know it has not been funded properly. We know because of 3 wars, we have an overabundance of people that need hospital care. We have an overabundance of that. We have an overabundance of people that have mental problems and limbs missing and different things like that. We have this. And you're the expert. 972-647-1893. We'll be right back. All right. We're back on Church Information and Open Forum. I'm Marion, Barnett, your host. And you can call us at 972-647-1893, 972-647-1893. Let's go, James from Palestine. All righty. Good morning, James.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Reverend Barnett. I appreciate your sacrifices always, and all the listeners and those that come in.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. A couple of things I want to hit on. One of them that I bring up that took place in your city called City Hall limiting our speech. And
right.
in my understanding in those editorials is they limited those that visit City Hall 3 minutes, and then you're only allowed to speak once a month. Now, that's censoring, and that's a concern we should have because here in Palestine, we have the 5 minutes up there, and they're not supposed to, according to the government code, respond unless it's a dire straight something. But, you know, if we lose that, we're going to lose our voices and everything else, and pretty soon you won't be able to protest and so forth. So I hope that you and the justice speakers continue to go out there. You know, it was just 12 with Jesus, and at the end, they all ran off and left him, and there was only 8 on the ark. So as far as numbers, it's the point of staying on the scene and being, you know, keeping it out there, the principle of the whole thing. And it's a shame that people would not get out there and get involved. Now, tomorrow, the church is going to be full, but they won't come out and address issues. And let me say this right quick, Reverend, but here's something that I've been pushing in Palestine and all over. People think they know Jesus, but they don't know the Son of Man. What people need to do in your Bible, all of you, in the 4 Gospels and in the book of Ezekiel and Nathaniel, that is the Son of Man, and that's why Jesus came, because he came as the Son of Man, because the first man messed up. And a lot of people trying to live like Jesus, but don't know who he is. And the only way you're going to find out who Jesus is learn who the Son of Man is. And in the 4 Gospels, you're going to find that. And especially this from here, Reverend Barnett, I got a couple other things to say, but in St. Matthew chapter 25, that's where, when he said, when I was hungry, when I was thirsty, This is when the Son of Man is going to come and do the judging of the world. But anyway, let me move past that. I want to say, as far as the voting, I appreciate you pushing that, because here in Palestine, you remember I mentioned a while back, Senator Royce West came to Palestine in support of our Commissioner of Precinct 2, Rashad Mims. Now, in the primary, listen to this, Reverend Barnett, it's a white guy with the name Lumpkin. Now, most of us here in Palestine know the Lumpkin name as a black family, but this guy is a white guy with the name Lumpkin. And when the voting took place, he had 700 and some votes, and Mr. Mims, the black guy, had 200 and some votes. Now, I don't know if his group just turned out, or was there a misunderstanding of the names, and people didn't know who the guy was, just going voting for a name. Anyway, Mr. Mims is putting out stickers and everything. He said he need us in the November voting, even though the primary looked dim like it did. But people down here just sort of like to hit in and say, Reverend Barnett, and it's very sad, what's going on here in Palestine. Mr. Wynn and I...
He lost in the primary, and he's going to run in the general election in November?
Yes, sir, and he will be, he probably still win and everything, but the white guy, if he loses, it's going to be a white guy representing us as constituents in our community, which is, what Reverend Mr. Brown and Rodney Howard and Mr. Timothy Smith, those guys fought for taxation with representation rather than without. And if we get that white guy now, we're not really sure what his thought's going to be or anything, but if we lose Mr. Mims out of there, then we'll find out.
Well, you got plenty of time to get the word out, right?
Yes, sir. It's coming down here, and we're working on it. A couple other things, Reverend Barnett. Right now, we have on our plate, Mr. Wynn and I are on the Building and Standing Commission, and the lady that was on in the first hour talking about houses and all, there's a program that was presented by the city of Palestine that my wife and I and some others attended, and I have that information available where you can if you own the property and it's vacant or houses on it, you can get it torn down, and they will help you build a home on that. And I think you have to live in it 3 to 5 years, and it become yours, money free, no strings attached to it. But I have all that information. I probably have to talk another time on that.
Okay, then. All right.
Yes, sir. One more close out. Our granddaughter doing that I'll Rise by Maya Angelou, and she was so involved in it. She was dressed with the attire, and she had a chain, and she really did that I'm Woman, and she won the Juneteenth, and she's an outstanding young lady, and she had a lot of talent for doing that. We appreciate Maya.
That's wonderful.
Everyone in the Metroplex here for your sacrifice.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Sir.
All right. Thank you. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. 972-647-1893. Joe? All righty. Good morning, Joe.
Hey, Reverend, how you doing?
Fine. How are you?
Oh, good. Appreciate the show as always. Look, the VA situation, that is a train that's been running off the track for quite some time. It just got exposed. That thing's been running off the track for quite some time. The wheels completely left it when the exposure came out and the light was able to shine in. But there is something good that could come out of that.
Oh, yes, a whole lot of good can come out of it.
Right. Not only that they can right the ship, but the ship might not need to be totally righted in that with the affordable health care. All of this separate. You got separate VA, and you got your public this and the Parklands, and just like the post office. That's a separate kind of mailing thing. We know from back in the day that separate usually doesn't equal.
Right.
And it opens the door for a lot of mess and a lot of high salaries and a lot to do oftentimes about nothing that should be getting done. So where I'm going with this is, since Obama's pushing the affordable health care, as the others like to call Obamacare, affordable health care, if it really gets off and run like it's supposed to run, maybe they could shut down a bunch of that VA stuff and give the veterans a health care card, for the health care card.
So in other words, you like to see the VA go with the voucher system?
Remember that I view it like this. If something doesn't serve you well and not working right, it needs to be fixed or do away with it. And when the guys come out, let them go wherever they want to go.
So in other words, the VA
Remember that?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Right, yes, right. And let them go where they want to go. Don't let them stumble and bumble around in the VA at San Antonio, because when the fact of the matter, when all the dust settles, as John Wiley likes to say, at the end of the day, that mess is systemic throughout the whole entire VA USA.
So in other words, if we gave them vouchers, give them a card, let them go to select any medical treatment center, wherever they want to go, and use that rather than just having to go to the VA hospital.
Exactly. It's kind of like the schools. When you start doing all this separate mess, you'll always have for school. You always have your Catholic school, you have private this and that. That's fine. If you want your child to be taught a lot of Bible, maybe send him to a school that's more a Christian school. But you always going to have your public schools ever since this thing was founded up in the New England states. So, but they're so separate but equal, a lot of times it just equals a fine mess and allow a lot of bureaucrats and a lot of government fat to dig out our pockets every day.
All right. Thank you for your call. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. Who do we have? Mr. Petrie. All righty. Good morning, Mr. Petrie.
Good morning, Reverend Doctor. How you doing?
Man, I thought you had disappeared. I thought somebody had scared you, boy.
Reverend, yesterday when I was talking to you, I mentioned about the gentleman that I met that have the school for truck driving school. And I wanted to give you the information and give it to your listening audience.
Yeah, because that's a good paying job. Driving.
Right, and it's free. It's Charter World Tour, and the gentleman's name is Rodney Jones, and I have a number here. And what he say? You go to truck driving school for free because his company has a grant that with no choice. So if somebody
they can learn how to drive one of those 18-wheelers for free.
Right, and yes, and if they have if they've been to prison, they still, as long as they have not had a offense with children, but anything, if you've been to prison, it's a great opportunity, and I think it's a 6-week program.
Oh, man.
It's offered, it's downtown. The address is 325 North St. Paul Street.
Okay. All right. You have a number? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the telephone number is 469 513 4222. That's his cell number. So, and he said you could call him on his cell number. And he has openings. So if somebody really, want to drive trucks, here's an opportunity where you could learn to drive trucks. And, when we were in the elevator, I was asking him, I said, well, I've never driven an 18-wheeler. Now, how long, if it's just you and I in a truck, how long would you think it'd take me to learn how to drive a truck? He said, now, if it's just without going through the school, just you and I was working with you, 3 weeks, you'd be able to drive a truck on the road.
And which is big money.
Right, big money, and it's an opportunity, in a way you could travel, and this is what we need, opportunities, the same thing. Like,
and you said ex-offenders can apply, and he will work with them.
Right.
Oh,
and that
man.
number, once again, is 469-513-4222. And Rev, you were talking about voting and why we don't vote. In the precinct that I vote, I vote in South Dallas.
Right.
And when I went to the poll just the other day to vote, we had 13 absentee voters, and I was the 5th voter. And in our precinct is 850 people. So you're talking about 18 people voted out of 850. And this is
why do we even complain? Why, if we don't want to stand up for our rights? And I really can't figure out what kind of incentive, what would it take to make us go to the polls? It doesn't take but a minute. You know.
But Reverend, in the slave master did a good job on messing up our mind as a race of people. I mean, you know, it has to be, you know, from slavery that somehow our mind got destroyed in many
well, no, but we in the 50s, the early 60s, and mid 60s, we fought. We died for the opportunity. Something happened since the 60s.
Right, but it must be a later effect, because you look at, if you go through South Dallas and in community in Oak Cliff now, because, you know, we were against that alcohol, and you
right.
Say it right on your show, what the result's going to be.
Well, it's showing up, too.
It's showing up right now. So already it's showing up, Reverend, and you can see Oak Cliff in our inner city falling, and people standing around begging for quarters, 50 cents to buy liquor, you know. And I mean,
everybody needs bus fare.
Right. And it was all by design, Reverend. And then you look at 1 out of every 3 black males going to prison. You know, in the state of Texas, they release 75,000 inmates per year, and 50,000 of them is black folks. You know, and they're coming back into
and they have a great number, percentage of them is HIV positive that they turn loose on the community.
Right. You know, so it got some. But why? And I'm gonna go back to saying the same thing. You know, why we can't see? Why are we blind?
I don't know. It gets frustrating. It's so frustrating.
Oh yeah. And then God wants us to do better. God has given us the message and the opportunity to do better, and we just reject everything, everybody. But as soon as we get a nickel or a dollar or whatever, we go on to these white folks to spend our money.
Yeah. That's sad.
And that ain't racist, and I ain't talking racist. I'm talking
because
about
everybody spend their money within their own community, with their own people.
Right.
Everybody do it but us.
Right.
Yeah.
And people coming into our community open up businesses.
Yeah.
And they take the money right out.
Right.
And we don't. They don't do nothing for us.
That's
nothing.
right. And we don't demand nothing from them.
Right.
Yeah. Look here, I'm up against a short break, and
appreciate you, Rand.
All right then.
And I ain't gonna let Randy scare me off your show now, Rand.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'll tell you what, we'll have a short break. We'll be right back. All right, we're back on Church Information in an Open Forum. I'm Marion, Barnett, your host. You can call us at 972-647-1893, 972-647-1893. Let's go to line 1 and say good morning to Black Hawk. All righty?
How you doing?
Fine. How are you this morning?
Okay, there's a mayor's conference downtown Dallas starting Monday.
What? Say that again, Black Hawk?
There's a mayor's conference. Starting Monday downtown Dallas.
Is that mayor's conference is starting this week?
Yes, this week.
Why they been so quiet about it?
Well, I read in the paper, man. See, black people don't read.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of apathy here in Dallas, Texas.
You're right, Black Hawk.
Stop that over at the Pan Apple shop the other day. Why Dallas black people got away?
You know, I received did you put a letter? I got a picture of your grandmother and your mother.
My mother was Indian. I got it. I'm glad you got it.
I got it.
My grandmother was Indian. I'm mixed up with Indian, Turkey Indian. That's why I got the name Black Hawk.
Okay.
Alphaville. You go way back, man.
Mm-hmm.
Man, when they slapped that little boy up there on, I think it was King that time. We ticketed, you remember?
Right. Oh, is that you?
You slipped it, man. With us that day. We stood on the buses downtown Elm Street. Me, you, Joe Pies, Fred Brown, Dan Ragshaw, J.B. Jackson, Miss Higgins.
Yeah, that's you. That. I remember you didn't send a picture of you. So,
no, I got some taken. I'll send you a picture of me, okay? I got old now. I'm 66 years old now, old warrior.
You're old warrior?
Old warrior.
Now don't get too old. You're not too old at 66. You're still a young man.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes,
I can't
sir.
condemn you at 66.
Yes, sir. They'll tag it down. I think it start this week, start Monday, the 2nd.
The Mayor's Conference.
Mayor's Conference, yeah.
Yeah. We'll have to get together.
Yeah, and if we get these home rule schools, we're going to be messed up, man. You know that?
Oh, hey, how well do I know?
Social promotion.
Yeah.
Go from one class, Friday catch up, Friday catch up.
Yeah. But at
I
least...
got out of school in college.
At least you have a voice now. They'll take that away, and they'll do whatever they want. It'll be our money in their school.
Years.
Yeah. Okay.
So I see you.
All right, then.
I love you.
I love you too, Black Hawk. All righty. 972-647-1893. Ike? All right. Good morning, Ike.
Good morning, Reverend Barnett.
Hey, man, how you doing?
I am doing great.
I looked at my phone this morning, and I saw where you had called me yesterday. I did not have my phone with me. You know, some days, man, I go off and forget to even take my phone off the thing. Just leave it where I don't have it. And forgive me. Oh, man. Yeah, what's going on?
Well, I'm enjoying the program this morning. You got a lot of stuff going on, and I heard people talk about the criminal justice system and the veteran administration, and and the guy was talking about voting.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to make a comment about voting. I'm a disabled vet, and I'm
you are?
also
you're a disabled veteran?
Yeah, I come out of I'm post Vietnam. I'm in the Vietnam area. I didn't go to Nam, but I was in the artillery.
Did you? Have you ever dealt any? Let me ask you this. I know you have something else you want to talk about. What is your opinion of the Dallas VA?
Well,
have you ever dealt with them?
I have dealt with them, and I got friends and they're veterans and stuff. And Dallas VA, and especially the Waco, where you get approved, that has been known to be some of the racist people it is. When it comes down to blacks. I don't know about Hispanics, but I know when it comes down to blacks. A lot of blacks will tell you when they go and file their claims that Waco mostly turned down blacks. I got one friend, he had to go all the way to Washington, D.C. and appeal his case to get his benefits. And it just, and that's what it is. All over the nation, Dallas and Waco is known to be very racist when it comes down to us African Americans, when it comes down to getting your benefits. I got a hearing loss and other things that's going on with me, and and they say they can't even find a record.
They can't find your records.
Yeah, that I was in I had my Earl Street where I was in the military. I was in the mortar platoon, which is part of artillery, and it's just a loud noise and a lot of things that run on, and they just don't care. They just don't care about us when it comes down to Texas. I heard them talking about the Texas criminal justice system. Well, if you watch the Innocent Project, it's not that many people getting out anymore because Texas is tired of making these inmates out of millionaires that they wrongfully convict them, so they own them. So they even trying to change the wording. They don't want to say you're exonerated no more. They want to say that you're cleared. But you got to have exoneration by your name to get compensated. So it's a lot of stuff going on right here in our city and in our state. But I wanted to say this about people, and I think if we could find the chemistry that this president put together when he was elected, we always say black folks won't vote, black folks won't vote. But it was a historical event because we turned out to the polls in so many record numbers. They didn't even have enough ballots. People were putting their votes on notebook paper and scratch paper.
If we could capture, capture that moment, because this 2014 is going to be very, very important. This is going to be a very important election because now, if the Republicans get that Senate, your president's checkmated. He's checkmated. In fact, they probably will impeach him. If they get that, if they take the Senate.
This president is, and we seen it coming. UN, the United Nations, wanted to charge Bush with war crimes. Well, the United States wasn't going to stand for that. As being a Republican white president, but he the one got us in this mess. He crashed the economy, started 2 wars, But they don't even want this president to talk about that. They don't want him. They don't want to address these issues. This home rule school that we fighting right now came up under his administration when he was governor.
Oh, it's tough.
A lot of stuff this man did is we still reaping havoc behind it. So, you know, that's my comment for today. And I just
all right, thank you, Ike. And I'll call you this morning, all right?
Okay.
Okay. All right, where do we go? All the lines are full now. Job line? Okay. All right, let's go with Reverend Crenshaw. Let's go with him.
Reverend Dr. Marion Barnett.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
Fine. You doing all right?
God bless you. I'm holding in there.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you're still on the battlefield.
I'm still on the battlefield for the Lord, and the Lord commissioned me as a Christian soldier.
Yes.
Do what is right.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Especially for us.
He made you an officer.
Yes, sir.
All righty.
I don't know how many followers I got. It's just like President Obama.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Turning against me every day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still warm and strong.
All righty.
But Dr. Barnett, what happened to Senator McKinney?
Well, you know, they vanquished her, man. One of the things that angered me about that whole thing is she told the truth about that war.
Yeah.
And when Cynthia told the truth about the war, they voted her out of Congress. And they've done, the press will not give her any coverage. And everything Cynthia McKinney said has come to pass. Everything she said. She said, we'll be there. It's another Vietnam. We were so, these so-called gun-ho patriots just hated her. But she told the truth. And too often, I'm so glad you brought Cynthia McKinney up. Too many times, we our own self, we forget about people who look like us, who will stand up for us and tell the truth. Yeah.
Now, what was she saying? I don't remember all.
She was talking about the war. We should not be getting involved with that. And boy, they went crazy. And see, she talked about the planes that hit the World Trade Center. She made the statement that Bush knew about it.
Oh, she did. Did you see him in that classroom when they told it? But did you see his look?
Well, and that's what got her. That's what got her. That's what got her. That's what got her. So, sometimes you still got to be your own man and God's man. And tell the truth about situations that have gone on. And she told the truth about it, and it cost her congressional seat. All right.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, remember that? You got to stand there.
All right.
You got to hold on.
All right.
Like a tree planted by the rivers of water.
Yeah.
I should not be moved.
Yeah.
How about you?
All righty. We thank you for your call.
Yes,
all
sir.
right. That clears the line, 972-647-1893. Let's go to our job line. All righty? Okay. Yeah. Mr. Barber?
Good morning, Reverend Barnett.
Good morning, Greg. How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
And are there any jobs out there?
There are some jobs out here this morning on the SAT job line. That's Solutions and Access Today job line, brought to you every Saturday morning during church information and open forum here on Knon 89.3, the voice of the people. This morning on the job line, we have Kohl's is looking for warehouse representatives. Asking you to apply online at www.kohls.com. Once again, that web address is www.kohls.com. Rochester Gates is Incorporated is looking for customer service representatives. Asking you to apply online at www.rochestergages, that's ROCHESTERGAUGES.com. Once again, that web address is www.rochestergages.com. Neiman Marcus is looking for warehouse representatives. Asking you to apply online at www.neimanmarcus, that's NEIMANMARCUS, careers
www.neimanmarcuscareers.com. Once again, that web address is www.neimanmarcuscareers.com. Larson Jewell is looking for warehouse representatives. The number for inquiry is 866-748-8722. Once again, that's Larson Jewell is looking for warehouse representatives. The number for inquiry is 866-748-8722. PGW is looking for warehouse representatives and a delivery driver. They're asking you to submit your resume to D. Bernard at pgwglass.com. Once again, that's PGW is looking for warehouse representatives and delivery drivers. They're asking you to submit your resume. Send your resume to D. Bernard, that's D-B-E-R-N-A-R-D, at pgwglass.com. If you are a child-loving patient, an energetic individual, and would like to work in a daycare setting, the number for inquiry is 972-290-4995. Once again, if you are a child-loving patient, an energetic individual, and would like to work in a daycare setting, the number for inquiry is 972-290-4995. If you are a person affected by addiction and needs assistance with your recovery, or an ex-offender trying to make that transition back into mainstream society and need assistance for job search, the number for inquiry is 214-634-2722. Once again, if you are a person affected by addiction and need assistance with your recovery efforts, or an ex-offender trying to make that transition back into mainstream society and need assistance with job search, the number for inquiry is 214-634-2722. Today is a good day if you're looking for a job to find one. Let me repeat that. Today is a good day if you're looking for a job to find one. Today is also a great day to make a pledge for church information in open form and follow through with it. Today is also a great day to make a pledge for church information in open form and follow through with it. Barnett, quick question. It looks like it's going to the ballot in November on the home school.
It is. Yeah, it's going to the ballot.
But let me ask you this question on constitutionality.
Mm-hmm.
However they drew it up, it is still taxation without representation.
Sure.
If we fought the battle, but we need to fight the battle at the polls and not let it go through. A1, let me make clear. We do not concede anything. Folks need to get out for their you-know-what and get out and vote this thing down.
Mm-hmm.
We can win the battle at the polls. That's what we need to concentrate on. We need to wake up the sleeping giant, folks. We cannot narrow this thing to just folk with school-aged children. Yes, all of them need to be involved, but if you own property in the city of Dallas,
you're paying tax.
This is how they fund this. They are going to take your money and you won't have anything to say about it. Mm-hmm. How it's used, how it's spent, they will come up with a commission that will determine this. Make no bones about it.
Right.
These folk will be nothing but yes men and do like they're told. They will spend your money without your input.
And they'll have the power to raise your taxes, too.
And raise your taxes at will without you having anything to say about it. Yeah. People need to wake up, Barnett. They need to wake up.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know why. I'm gonna have to be positive. Let's hope and pray that the people will go to the polls. The people will fight this to the bitter end. Fight it, and then if we have to go to the court after that, but we can defeat this thing at the poll.
Well,
we can tell them
make no bones about it. This is worse than what Donald Sterling did. Donald Sterling
that ain't nothing compared to this.
Any effect on you and your household. Mm-hmm. This is doing it to you right here in your city with your money. They're telling you they don't want you down there, and they're spending your money. Donald Sterling is at least spending his own.
Right.
They're spending your money, and they're telling you, I don't want them here. I don't want them around, but I want their money, and I want to be able to do what I want to do with it. To suppress their children, suppress their education, suppress their civil rights, and suppress their vote.
That's what it gets down to, Reverend Barnett.
Yeah, well,
that's got to be the mention.
Well, you're talking about taxation without representation. This is a fine example of that. So,
exactly.
If we won't stand up for our own rights, let's stand up for the rights of your children, grandchildren, or just children anywhere. If you don't even have any, stand up for your property rights. That you can be taxed according to the amount of property you have, and without you having any recourse, they can raise your taxes.
Exactly, Reverend Barnett.
Yeah.
We got to wake up the sleeping giants. Folks are asleep. Folks not really realizing what this is. When you say school, they figure, well, I don't have any school-aged children. It's not about that. Yeah. It's about if you live in the city of Dallas and own a tenth of a centimeter of property, you paying taxes, it's affecting you.
Well, even if you're renting.
Yes,
if they raise
go up on the rent. When the taxes go up, they're going up on the rent. You're exactly correct. It's going to affect anybody.
You can't duck this in no way, shape, form, or fashion.
No, you can't duck it. You are correct.
It's going to affect your life if you live in the Dallas Independent School District. And remember now, we got other cities that's a part of the Dallas Independent School District. Dallas Independent School District represents 18 cities. They're going to get their taxes raised too.
That's correct.
All right. Thank you. Look at all of you. The lines are all lit up, jammed up at the end of the show. But thank you all for calling. Can't get to you. Don't have time. Got to run. I'm Marion, Barnett, your host. I'm senior pastor of Heavenly Joy Church. We're located at Bruton and Masters here in the city of Dallas, serving at 11 o'clock, Sunday school, 9:30. So come by and see us. May the Lord bless you and keep you, and you have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye-bye.
KNON 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people.
Business owners, tell KNON's listeners about your business. You can put your business or event on KNON. KNON currently has space available to run announcements for you. Tell KNON's listeners about your goods, services, nightclub, concert, or event. Help keep the voice of the people on the air while putting your information on the air. KNON's been named the #1 radio station in Dallas by both the Dallas Observer and D Magazine. Put your business with Dallas's #1 station. Call now for more information at 214-828-9500, extension 227, or extension 233. For more information, go to KNON.org and click on the Run Spots on KNON page. It's a great way for your business to support community radio while letting more people know about you.